Yo! Hey, Bemused. How are you doing? I see you were very keen for this sweet state, so much so that you asked me to hydrate before I even started the stream officially. So, for your benefit, here is the hydration. There. Are you happy, Bemused? Are you satisfied? Is everything good? Alright, so welcome to the sweet state, the 33rd one. Getting on close towards 3 years now since I've started doing these. You're satisfied. That is good. That is good. So, for those who don't know what the sweet state is, among new viewers, or if you just happen to bundle across this video while you're looking on YouTube and you've come across my channel and this is the first video you've watched, in which case, hi! The Sweet State is a monthly sort of vlog style streaming series where I basically talk about the state of the channel, things happening with myself, things happening with the channel, getting ideas for going forward, and generally rambling and talking all kinds of shit. And that's it. That's basically what the Sweet State is. And I've been doing it for nearly 3 years now. One a month, obviously, so 3 months' time will be coming in the summer. It'll be the 3-year anniversary, I guess. So, as you can see, I've got my t-shirt on because it's a bit warmer here now. It's going to get a bit colder, unfortunately, over Easter, because there's always one last attempt by winter around the UK to show up in April. And when that fucks off, then we start the actual spring and summer period in between rain showers, cloud, and more rain showers, of course, at least in this part of the country. Anywho, let's begin, shall we? So, although I say this a lot, I can probably say with a reasonable amount of confidence this might actually be one of the shorter sweet states that I've done, but watch this go on to 2 hours because a tangent will happen. But in paper, at least, there's not a massive amount to go over compared to some others. All the stuff happened last month, really. This is sort of like a more relaxed and more chill sweet state, if you will. So, I'll briefly update you on my personal situation. Basically, I'm looking forward to the gyms reopening on the 12th of this month, when the Easter holiday ends, unfortunately, so I have to go back to work, and then I can go to the gym. Woohoo! Can't wait to do that. Can't wait for that. I really can't, because seriously, the gym should have been open a long time ago. Arguably, I think the gym should have never fucking closed in the first place. There's about as much evidence for COVID infecting gyms as there is infecting schools. No, lockdown is not over. It's the next phase of the UK government's loosening of restrictions. Although, if you look at some of the news that's happening since the previous loosening of restrictions that happened on the 29th of March, you would think it was over, judging by people's reactions. Thanks for 25 bits and the host, Lord Misfit, and a good afternoon to you in the States. Hope you're having a good day. You don't watch Tatestone Propaganda anymore. Okay, well, we are getting new restrictions for 4 weeks here in France. Yeah, Europe's going back into lockdown. Don't worry, Yugi boy. The UK will join you shortly. What between the people already taking the piss, you know, the insistence of people to protest all the time, and the fact that in all the previous times when Europe has had a wave of infections, the UK has followed suit because we don't close all our borders, shut the windows, and say fuck off for 2 months. So, we'll soon be back in the same shoes, probably. I honestly predict that by the end of Easter break, we'll probably see the rise once again. But what I'm hoping for is that the gyms will open before then, so that then they can have more of a case for not closing them. Because Your gyms have been closed since October 2020. Ouch. Well, ours have been closed since, let me think, December, I think. Yeah, like December-ish. Yeah, well. I just want the gyms back. The pubs are also partially opening on the 12th. You're allowed to sit outside in a beer garden and get served. Cue everyone ramrodding to the pubs on the 12th of April to get their drinks. Yeah. What? Yeah. 12th of April, you can go and have a drink in an outside beer garden, a pub. You can't go inside, but you can go outside. So naturally, everyone will dash to the nearest pub with a huge beer garden, and you'll probably see pubs that don't have conventional beer gardens set out some plastic chairs and get people to come in. So it'll be fun. That's if everything goes to plan, of course. From what I'm seeing, I'm basically seeing that the rate's going to shoot for the fucking roof. Again, we're going to have the same wave that the EU's having, and we're going to be having to step it back a bit. Of course, the schools won't close because the schools are too important, and therefore they must stay open, and that is what we have agreed to do. Yeah, no kidding, bemused, right? No kidding. No one can drink alcohol. You can only drink alcohol in public. Well, fine. I mean, if all the pubs are closed, you've nowhere to do it anyway. Really. I know people go to the parks and stuff for that, but I don't do that kind of thing. I did go out and get some cider a few minutes ago, but that's for later. I drink at night. But anyway, our schools are closing, but it's more like the holidays have advanced. Whoa. Yeah, well, our schools won't be closing because, they won't. And that's fine. I mean, I stay in a job, so whatever. Doesn't bother me that much these days. I mean, another thing I'm looking forward to also later in April is, well, for me it's started, I'm on a 2-week break from work. My school closed last Friday, so I'm on the first week of 2. I know that a few other schools start their break for Easter today. But yeah, there'll be a lot of people off holiday, and with the fact that they can hang in groups of 6, they'll be doing that as much as possible. One of the things I'm looking forward to on Easter Monday is actually meeting up with one of my friends. I'm going to take advantage of it to meet up with a friend. So, first time I'll be able to hang with my friend, and the last time I saw him was Christmas. Where I exchanged a present with him very briefly. I didn't even see him on New Year. Well, obviously not. I was here on New Year's Eve playing Heretic. That was fun. It really was. I didn't mind, but at this phase, I'm starting to miss. I said this a few months ago, and it hasn't changed. That's a shame, Yugi. That's a shame. But yeah, I'm starting to feel I just want this to end now. I've had enough. I kind of want to be able to see my friends again. I want to be able to go out and do social things again, I'm not getting a healthy balance in my life, sort of thing. But aside from seeing my friend on Easter Monday, I'm also getting the second jab of the Pfizer on April the 19th. So I'll finally be fully vaccinated by the end of the month. So that'll be cool. Gives me a bit more of a fighting chance not to catch COVID. Hopefully I never do. I really don't want to catch COVID because it lasts forever. Or at least it seems that way. They're still looking into this long COVID stuff, of course. But thankfully, in the previous term at school, there haven't been any cases, as far as I'm aware. So all the staff and kids have been tested, mostly, and no one's really come down with it. So our school must be in a very good bubble, which is good to hear. So I'm not too worried about catching it at my workplace, at least for the time being anyway. As the restrictions loosen, however, that might be a different story, but we'll see how that plays out. But by then I'll be vaccinated, so whatever. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's not little else. I'm still trying to lose weight, but I've sort of conceded the fact that, I'm not really going to be able to make that next big push until the gyms reopen or I turn part of my home into a gym. And to be honest with you, during the Easter break, I just want to, while I am doing things, I do just want to relax a bit, It's just a shame there's not a lot to do, I mean, to put it into perspective, if this was normal times tonight on a Thursday, I'd probably be out playing poker with some friends. That's what I did sometimes on a Thursday night. I'd go out and play poker, have a few drinks, have a laugh. It'd be nice because I'd be able to have a few drinks with the guys. Instead of what I would probably have to have done since I would be working in the morning, which is be sensible. So I miss that kind of stuff, the social thing, the going out with friends thing, and the whole mood and atmosphere of going into a pub on a Wednesday night and you play a poker game and there's a football match on and maybe some people in the pub support that football team, and there's all the banter and the atmosphere of the crowd and the conversations, and you have to make all these pokery decisions, and you have fun. If you lose, you hang out, you talk with people, and if you win, you might win a bit of cash, but it's all good fun, that kind of stuff. For the first 9 months, I didn't miss any of that. I'm missing them now, though, because ultimately, now that I have a job, I realise that I want to be able to better appreciate my free time when I actually have the time off work, and I can't. All I can do is entertain a bunch of random people on the internet. You fuckers. And you people don't even play poker. Nah, I'm kidding. I mean, I do enjoy doing this stuff, but it's the balance, This is the only option I have. And I want more options, I've already been through that phase of my life where all I did was eat, sleep, and breathe live streaming, and quite frankly, it wasn't healthy for me. Talking aloud, you're breathing Rona all over the place, over the plebs. Yeah. It's going to take a while before we get back to those normal things again, Maybe by the summer, maybe by next year, God knows what happens next. But we'll see, I suppose. We will see. I'm certainly hoping to have... I certainly hope that at least there is some stuff I can do in summer, because having, 5 or 6 weeks of this might be a bit testing for me without having much to do, hopefully I'll have a job, so I won't have to worry about looking for a new one. But then there's the worry of I'm off for 5 or 6 weeks. What am I allowed to do? And hopefully it will be I'm allowed to go out, I'm allowed to see friends, I'm allowed to enjoy the thrill of the summer. Or, depending what part of the world you're in, I guess it would be the winter for some of you. So hopefully things will get better on that front as the months go by, and once things go back to normal, we can do the normal things, I suppose. That's about it. That's really about it. You know what? I just remembered something I actually was thinking of bringing up as an interesting tangent, but I might see if I bother. We'll see how long this goes on for. Something I dug up last week, thanks to a Dopewoods viewer. But maybe we'll come to that in a little bit. Let's make a quick note here. Let's make a quick note there of it. Alright, so that's it. Nothing else to report personally wise. I hope you're all doing alright out there. You know, it's not easy for any of us really, but you know, as long as you're staying safe and you're finding something to pass the time and keep you happy, that's all we can hope for, isn't it? You know, even if it's this stream and this idiot. So anyway, I didn't prepare the pitch, did I? No, wait, that needs to be up there. Oh, now it linked. Let me dig up the picture. Bear with me a second. I get it. No, that's not it. Ah, here we go. Whoa, too big. Ah, God. Okay. Let's put that up in the corner there. That should do the trick. Oh, hey, Kinikos, how you doing, man? So it's time for the Uncle Bo update. For after the 3rd month. So the Uncle Bo is finally beginning to warm up nicely, as only a few days ago, 2 days ago actually, yeah, 2 days ago, I did the one for March, which was criticality and miasma, and I did do a little bit of practice before the stream, which was noted on the Hellforge Discord, where one lucky viewer got to see me practice. Mainly miasma, to be honest, and it's a good thing I did, because if I hadn't done that, I seriously think I would have screwed up. So I managed to get a few more monster kills across 2 very difficult map sets, and I took the first point of the Uncle Bowl. So it is now only 2 points to 1 in favour of Mutt, and that means that Mutt won't be able to win 7 months in a row to end the competition by July. So I've made it interesting now, and I really can't blame. Oh, excuse me. I really can't blame either of us for dying quite early. Criticality was not to be messed around with, and on ultraviolence, and was very, very difficult. And miasma, while a little easier, is not exactly easy. It was a very tough picks by Vince Vega. But I have the point, and that means I go first next month, or this month even, for the Iron Man for April. And I just need to double check something, because I believe the actual thread is up, I think. I'm just checking if it's not like an April Fool's or something, or whatever. Don't think it is, you know. Or if it is, he hasn't updated it yet. But this is supposedly the Iron Man for April, which was posted yesterday by Rufy, prior to the any April Fool's antics happening. So I've known about this for about yesterday. And Rufy has not entirely confirmed whether this is the actual thread or not. He sort of left it kind of vague as to whether that is the actual Iron Man for April or not. We might find out a little later, but seemingly, if that is the actual Iron Man Week pick for April, then I am in for a very tough time again. Because World Orifice, Fred says it's no April's joke. Hey Tourniquet, how you doing? It's easy. Well, it's a Benjogami slaughter map. Easy is not the word that comes to mind. From a description of it, it sounds more like a holy hell type slog, honestly. And I have an issue with it, honestly. As someone who has participated in every single Ironman over its 5-year duration, I have a bit of an issue with Rufy picking that, actually. And it's simply because it's back-to-back difficult map sets in the Ironman League, which is not usually something that has ever been done before. Usually, if a hard map set is done 1 month, it's switched to an easier one next month. The fact that we're following up Criticality and Miasma, while CAC Award winners are very, very difficult on the Ultraviolence Demanded, with another highly difficult map set the following month, and, well, I see a problem there. I see a problem called nobody taking fucking part. Because difficult. I could see that being a legitimate problem, honestly, if that is the actual pick. And that is a problem, simply because the Ironman League's biggest concern was the participation was dwindling. So, I could be wrong on this, but the idea that people will be given hard map set, followed by another hard map set in next month, and I wonder if it is just going to keep dwindling a little bit, even if it is a different style of difficulty, supposedly. But I'm kind of surprised that Rufy has chosen another hard one. You know, it just feels a bit off balance to me, as someone who has done the league for 5 years. You know, there's been all kinds of hard picks. How many times have an easy map sets been consecutively picked though? That's only if they can play well positions down the end for you to play something new to each genre, although if this is legitimately easy for the first few sessions. Alright. Well, I'll take your word for it. I mean, I haven't played World Orifice, but I think I've seen a tiny bit of footage of it on a stream, and it sounds like a slog, if anything. But mainly I have an issue because I have to play it first. And I can't get an idea. Yeah, the description of the thing states, so I present to you, So I present to you the description on the thread. Well, I have a few questions for you. Do you like ultra-long maps? Do you like slaughter maps with thousands of monsters? Do you think you will die by a monster or by extreme fatigue? So I present you World Orifice, a huge boom map made by Benjogami with 20,000 monsters. It is not a slaughter map like the others with arenas as we usually see. Here you will have to kill hordes of monsters that will become more and more difficult to eliminate, as well as a number of archviles that will appear from time to time to resurrect all that mess. I want to warn you that the level is extremely long. Count at least 4 to 5 hours for the most enduring. So it looks like a giant circle to me. Now, as the average Doom player, how appealing does that sound for the next month's Ironman League after having played Criticality and Miasma? The answer is, it sounds absolutely horrifying to some people. And that's why when this has happened in the past, if there's been a difficult pick, it's usually been followed up by a less challenging pick to sort of not let things get too difficult all the time. And that's been a thing that has been in the league in the past. You know? I mean, personally, I don't mind. Rufy can pick whatever he wants. That's fine. I'm just a little surprised that we're following up a hard month with another one. You know, I do feel this may turn some people away. It won't turn me away. I'm going to play. But I wonder if it will turn others away. At a time when the Iron Man League is trying to get people to participate. When to be fair, all the Iron Man stuff are struggling with participation numbers. I believe even the Endless Tournament is struggling to get a lot of participation. The newer one that was announced, if I'm not mistaken, people are not really playing that either. Hey, Pineapple. Sup? Thanks for the 29-month streak. And how are you doing? Thank you very much for the sub. I do alright. Gonna eat food and do a stream of your own. Okay, that's good. What will you be playing? And now I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna look back over the Iron Man League history about this. Let's see. What would be classified as a difficult map set? Well, you have Disturbia. Disturbia was a difficult Death Destiny map in 2017. Before that, there was Vivictus 1 and 2. After that, there was Insertion. Another difficult-ish WOD was Combat Shock 2 in January of 2018. After that was Coffee Break Episode 1. Prior to that was Doom the Way It Did, where I did that speedrun. Another difficult WOD. Arguably Rush. Arguably. Before that, Double Impact. Kind of challenging, but in a sort of less intense way than Rush usually provides. After that, the Darkening E1 and E2. The Plutonia Experiment, the Plutonia Experiment, Darkening was before that, Community Chest 4 was after that. 2019, Stardate 20XE6 on the 1 credit rule. Before that, THT Threnody, after that, Base Ganymede Complete. And then... Oh, you know what? Actually, I have to take back what I said. There actually is a precedent for this thing happening. In 2020, Hell Revealed in August, followed up by Dark Resolution 2008 in September and October. Okay, never mind. There is a precedent for this happening. But still, that was at the time when the biggest problem was that NASA was inactive, and that's been resolved since. But in most of the history of the Iron Man League, you can clearly see, looking for the thing, well, yeah. And the idea of the Iron Man League was about speed, to some extent. This was an Alfonso thing to begin with, and he had the balance right, I feel. And at the end of the day, Tourniquet, it comes down to this. Who wants to play 2 hard map sets, then next month play another one? It comes down to that. How many people are willing to do that? 2 months straight for an Iron Man League. I just have my concerns that this is going to turn people away a bit. They're going to be like, oh God, this is just going to become slaughter hell or whatever, which is a bit unfair, but there's no difficulty option in the Iron Man League. It's ultra violence or bust. So you are playing these on the... Yeah, it's a normies bitching about being remotely challenged in any way whatsoever. It's a performance-based competition. Well, fair enough, bemused. Fine. If that's what the balance... I mean, I know there's different people hosting each month, and it's great they're doing that. I just would have expected perhaps a less intense pick as a follow-up, but do as you please. But then, if we're here a month later and we're talking about how the Ironman League has really dropped participation, play or don't play, participation is low, so be it. Well, I guess that's all we can do. You know? And then at the end of the month, we'll find out if it really did affect people playing in the league or what. Well, I don't actually know if I'm going to do May, to be honest. I will have to see. I was kind of hoping to do it in the... I mean, it sounds a bit daft, but the way I would be maintaining it would require a bit of extra work every night, depending on how many people submit demos and stuff. Especially since I'm planning to use the obituaries. So I'd have to actually watch some videos and think of some hilarious one-liners or whatnot. I could just be complaining about nothing, or the fact that I have to play another hard map set to challenge Mutt in a competition. I just generally feel that we're having 2 months of hard map sets, really slaughter hard map sets, back to back. Different styles, yes. I'm just a slight concern, that is all, since participation in Ironmans has been a problem. That's all I'm going to say. But don't get me wrong, I'm still going to play this thing. Because I have an Uncle Bowl to win. Oh, hey, Draukin. I could just be complaining about nothing like usual. To be fair, you played less than 15 minutes of the 2 words combined. I actually practiced pre-stream, so I had a little practice with my asthma to make sure I nailed it. I don't know, it could just be the fact I'm just spouting off the fact that my reaction was, oh, for fuck's sake, really? Another hard map set? And I have to go first this month? It could just be that, but I do have a point. I do. The history of the league has been a balance of the difficult and the not difficult, and I hope that we're not seeing a trend of just flinging difficult things month after month. You know, it's not all about brutal difficulty. It's about the speed element and different kinds of challenge, I guess. Although if this is more of a testing... Okay, well, if that's the case, then it's different. And I'll be wrong, and I'll eat all the shit if I'm proven that I'm just worrying about nothing. I'm just giving my honest thought, you know, and that's that. I'm still going to play it. Mutt's still going to play it. We're still going to have a head-to-head. But I can't say I'll be looking forward to it. Because the first thing that came to mind is I'm thinking, holy hell, here we go again. It sounds like something I'd have to practice as well to make sure I'm not caught off guard by whatever happens. The general impression I get from that description is it's going to be a map where I spend 20 minutes killing monsters and then 5-10 vials show up unexpectedly, and if you're not prepared for it, you die. And then this repeats itself a dozen times across the map until you get to the end. Sounds like a really, really tedious slog to me, honestly, but maybe that's the challenge, I suppose. Why don't you just pick Holy Hell then? About the same thing. Right down to having the 20,000 monsters, in fact. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. I will probably turn out to be wrong, but we'll see what happens. 4 hours of killing monsters? Serious? That makes it sound really boring, actually, in a sense. but I guess I'll get to sample it for myself. And judging by the description, I think I will have to sample it for myself before I play. I am not playing it blind. Let's put it that way. For a WOD with that description, I'm going to have to see under the hood. Find some time to take a look at it and see what it's actually all about. I have to, because I want to set a good target. You know, I don't want to make it too easy for him. I've got to catch up, man. I got to get to 2-0. I got to start winning. That's why I wanted an easy map set, damn it. Instead of all this work. Just give me an easy map set. Alright, moving on. Maybe my concerns are all for nothing. I hope they are. I'm just saying. Let's move on. Get rid of that. That's the end of the Uncle Bo update. Just doing a quick change to the thing. Hey, the loneliness. How you doing? Hope I'm having a good Thursday. Yeah, it's going okay. It's going alright. You know, I've not really done much today, to be honest. It's been a bit lazy, but that's fine. I have been doing the odd thing. Just been relaxing, you know. Did England win? Yes, they did win last night. They made hard work of it, but they won. They won 2-1 in the end against Poland, so... Yay, they won. Woo! We're going to the Euro, World Cup, yeah, whatever. Qualifying is bollocks anyway. England don't get much challenge in the qualifiers, other than having to deal with fatigue of playing easy opponents, I guess. So, on to the next point. I sort of covered this last time, but it was happening on the fly. So, it's been a month since I've hired some new moderators. You may have noticed over this last month that there have been several new moderators in the chat, of which all 3 of them are here now, actually, with their shiny green swords. Who? Well, you, for one, and Tourniquet and Yugi Boy have been doing a good job of moderating the chat. And Draukin was relieved of his duties as a moderator. And he's been free to proliferate and do stuff. You know, it's been a tough time. It's been a tough time, you know. Draukin's been wild and free. But yeah, we've had new moderators. And I think they've done a good job so far. Not that they've had much to do, I don't think, but for what little they have had to do, I think they've done well. And I hope you've all enjoyed your first month as being a moderator for this hectic, busy channel. He says sarcastically, of course. I did a good job by doing nothing. Great. What am I paying you for? Oh, wait. Never mind. Scratch that. Yeah, having you on a background tab is pretty easy. Background tab? Like... What? You mean I don't get your full attention? I'm just background noise to you? Well, why don't I just get the webcam? Let's have a black screen. Yeah, let's have a black screen. Screw having the visuals. Let's just have audio book. I might as well just start doing podcasts. I could pretend to be playing video games. 100% improvement. Well, that's great. I don't need this webcam anymore then. And then I'll just put some game footage over the hang on, give me a second. Then I want to put some gameplay footage over the top of it or whatever. You know, I can just do that. You know? Oh, look! Oh, hold on, let me just fix it. There we go! I'm playing Doom! Woo! Look at me go! I'm playing! Oh wow, it's a base! Mic isn't required either, this is fine. So I could just steal Bowl's video and just claim it as my own? That's it? This is the future of the channel now. I'm just gonna watch other people make video. And that's it. How did I get much better at Doom? Well, yeah, I'll get much better. Look at this scrub, he's got dynamic lights on and everything. And he has full screen. I mean, I have full screen. And then hopefully some of you are recognizing what map this is, because I played it recently. Right, well that's it then. I'm just gonna leave this running, and you can all enjoy this. I'll just go off and play something else. You know, I'll just go off and do something else with my time. You know, it's all good. Enjoy the gameplay video, and I'll just not do anything. Dynamic lights are speed holes. They make you go faster. Look, I'm getting cheers anyway. All these years I've been a streamer doing content that requires some effort. And all I had to do was just record, live stream someone else playing Doom. And that's it. Can I get paid? You're still talking? Shush, you're ruining the movie. Alright then, I'm done. Bye. See ya. Alright, I think we're done here. You crossed the line. Delete that this instant. Right now. Oh no, it's the thumb police. Okay. Let's get rid of all these pictures. And the movie. Thanks for the video, Bowel. Oh wow, this is actually Bowel playing it. Alright, let's get back to me. That was fun. I wasn't even intending on doing an April Fool's thing this year, but screw it. Opportunism. My name is John. Well, his channel was really going to crap. It was one of the greatest streams ever. Hey, Croucher. Hey, Doodle. And hey, everyone. Hey, everyone. How you doing? Alright. You're joining just in time to see the joke. Well, someone said, why don't you just do it without just background noise to some of you, apparently. I need to get rid of this double chin. Well, it's a bit less now, but still. But yeah, in all seriousness, like, I understand that some people do watch streams as background noise, and that's fine, you know. Do what you want, you know. It might be mapping or playing something else. As long as I'm entertaining background noise that's pleasurable, then that's all that matters, really. But yeah, I have 3 new mods. They're doing a good job. And I still need a 4th mod. I'm still on the lookout for a 4th. But no one's really come to mind. It's like regular, really. You came to take a break from your various Hugo boasting. Very funny, Croucher. You are so hilarious. No, a moderator for my team. I need a 4th one. You know, I still have Bridge Burner, but Bridge Burner is doing a million other things, so he needs to be replaced with somebody. So, I'm still very much needing a 4th. And I can't think of anyone, really, that jumps to mind. I did well with getting Bemused and Tourniquet, and Yugi Boy. And obviously I can't have Lord Misfit, because Lord Misfit is doing a million other things himself. But I'm sure I'll find somebody eventually. So, you know, if you are a regular on this channel and you are a good person who behaves, or at least knows how to pretend to behave, then you might be getting a call, or miraculously a private message, or I might just say it on stream. I am still looking out for one more moderator, is the point. You're open for time, use 5 second mind to one map. Yeah, I know a lot of mappers do that over the years, you know. And it's great, you know. I do that with I do that with other streams sometimes. Sometimes I put a stream on and I'll play a game or watch some stuff. Find a random band troll and make him a moderator for today. No, let's not do that. I would make such a great moderator, John. This is why you will not be a great moderator. You'll be banned. Hey, Double Douche. I could be a random mod. No, this is a more serious thing. I need to find a reliable 4th. But how are you doing, Double Douche? Account create on March the 29th and full. Oh wow, interesting. I didn't notice that before. You literally created your account 2 days ago. Well, 3 days ago, 29th. And then I was with the channel, and then you followed the channel, like, immediately. That's pretty interesting. I just cared to look that up, actually. Well, I'm glad to hear it, Double. So, yeah, I will be looking out for a 4th mod. Okay, so, now that I had my April Fool's japery, shall we say. Mention now, what's the next point? Ah, yes. Although I think I'm doing this next point a bit early, nevertheless, I don't see the harm in asking it a month on. So, it has been, please no Terry mods, only good quality mods. Only good quality mods when I can, Doodle. Hopefully some of those on my request list are still good. Got quite a few of those, especially in the hexing category. Tell you what's the best ones. So, it's been a month. So, it's been a month since, obviously, like 5 or 6 weeks ago, before the last half term, you all know I was suspended off Twitch for a week. And this led me to reanalyze the state of the channel, etc., etc. And one of the things I did say I was going to try and sort of change from that point on, due to what happened, is that I was going to start being a bit more chill about some things and not quite be as unpleasant with my choice of words when getting angry at video games, shall we say. You know, and therefore I'm just kind of curious, since that suspension happened a month ago, have any of you noticed any differences? I've put in my notes here. Am I more chill? Question mark. Notice any changes? Question mark. And I am just curious to see, although it's only a month, and obviously a change like that takes time. I'm just curious to see if there's any difference. Yes, I'm wearing a Mayo shirt. Now, this is a football shirt of sorts. Somewhat. I always thought you were pretty chill, as long as there's no boners and bullshit chain gunners. Yeah. I mean, I am when I try to be. Yeah, you're a toxic streamer, and the rage over Sudoku has been quite unpleasant. Well, it's not my fault that competitive Sudoku is a numbers game, bemused. It's a numbers game. But thank you for telling me I've been a toxic streamer. You know, I thought I was a good boy. Fire Blue Seppuku yet? I don't think I've ever played it, Charliza. Please nerf Sudoku. Sudoku is so unbalanced. Sudoku gaze is numbered. I know. Sudoku. Nah, being serious, though, you know. I know that this is an early thing, but have you noticed any changes at all to my demeanour or how I've approached more frustrating moments in games, you know? I know it's a bit early, and obviously it's only a month. I mean, this is more something I should do like at the end of the year or whenever. But I'm just kind of curious to see if there's any been sort of short-term difference to that. Obviously, I have to be a little more chill and careful with my language, but I've always kind of wanted to do that. So I'm just curious to see if there's been any noticeable differences, is all I'm asking. You've noticed a couple of less chins. You haven't really been thrown into anything like UV Sunday yet in order to fully test it out. You always thought I was chill, so no changes noticed. Always thought I've been... I think you may be right, Bemused. I don't think I've really been severely tested yet. I mean, probably the hardest thing off the top of my head that I've played this in the last month has probably been Alfredo's Blood Flow. And I sort of handled one situation that pretty well, where I took a moment to collect myself and continue. God, no, I'm not going back to Dark Tartarus. You'd have to... Hell no. But you are right, I haven't really been severely tested either. Not that I'm looking out to be tested, but, you know, there will be some difficult WODs coming up. And while criticality and miasma were difficult, it was only an Iron Man. You know, one and done. In about a year. Is that when I Have No Idea episode 2 is going to drop? That'll be cool. Tenebrum. Oh, the heretic thing, yeah. But there are some, there will be some stiff tests to come in the future. I mean, obviously, after I play redundancy on my request list, I have an entire, I can play the rest in any order. So I have some stiff tests to come. Bastion of Chaos, Deus Vult, Entropy, Kama Sutra, New Gothic Movement, Speed of Doom, and probably a few other things as well that are tricky off the top of my head. Oh, Pure Serious Keko Demon, right? So you talk about being tested, made me think of this. I'm not a coward, I've just never been tested. I'd like to think that if I was, I would pass. Look at the testing and think, there, but for the grace go I. Might be a coward, but I'm afraid of what I might find out. Yeah. And obviously, if I do get to 2,000 followers, I will be playing at least one map of Sunder. So you will be right that there are... I swear to God, Sweet, if you don't know where that is from... It sounds familiar, but I can't think of where it is precisely from at this moment. But I have heard the quote, there, but for the grace of the gods go I. I mean, being chill as a person is not the same as getting frustrated. You can be angry and frustrated and still being agreeable to watch. That's what I'm going for. That is what I am going for, honestly. I have long since acknowledged that I cannot just be like a monotone person who doesn't react to frustrating moments. Oh, that isn't what I was thinking of at all, actually. I may not have heard that song. I can't play the song, obviously, because DMCA. But I'll take your word for it that it is a thing. Well, okay, I'll listen to it after the stream, sure. But yeah, that's really what I'm trying to go for. It's a good way of summarizing it, Dirtle. You know, I'm trying to be like, if I get frustrated, I get frustrated, and then we move forward, and we don't get frustrated for minutes upon minutes, and we don't say anything too toxic in the heat of the moment like I have previously. Even if it's not been critically bad, it didn't take much to get suspended off Twitch for a week, did it? So that's the kind of change I'm hoping to sort of have happen, where my reactions to more frustrating parts of video games get better over time, and the sort of chill vibe is more present, more agreeable, the more being involved with the game and having fun with the game, and less so the stigma of I get mad at video games type thing, which has dogged me as a streamer for the last decade, really, to some extent, because I've not exactly done anything to overcome it until the last 2 years. So I'm glad to see that a few of you are noticing a little bit of a change at least, but I will agree that the real test will be a more difficult map set that I will have to play. But, you know, hopefully I will pass those tests, and I will start being more fun streamer in that regard, able to handle the difficult stuff a little better, while keeping the passion when it's needed, I certainly don't want to describe what I said at the beginning, which was bland to be banned, but, I want to be more careful in some aspects, obviously. But I think we've found, for the time being at least, an acceptable balance, which hopefully most of you enjoy. So, the early indications are I'm heading in the right direction, but we'll see if I still am in a few months' time. I will try to be able to check back in on this and see, maybe like after the summer, maybe I'll ask the same question and we'll see if there's been any more progress. So, cool. Good. All right. So, just to also another quick thing to sort of point out, throughout the Easter period, and you may have noticed I've been streaming on Dope Withs a couple of times because I have an ongoing project there that I did start with the suspension from Twitch, which was Danganronpa Volume 3 Killing Harmony. And I have said I'm going to be sort of bouncing around back and forth between here and there to sort of get the project done, because I am trying to get it done by the end of Easter, hopefully. And I kind of want to say that looking ahead, expect that to happen a few more times in the next couple of years. Now, this is still my main streaming location. Okay, V3, whatever. Version 3. So, what was I going to say? So yeah, expect that to happen a few times more over the next couple of years. While this is still my main streaming place, I will be doing the occasional other project for Dope Lives. Because I want to, quite simply. So, you will see me advertise a few other projects on Dope Lives, I mean, there's obviously one that I have to play on there because I can't play it on Twitch because it's banned. But there will be some other stuff too. It's not all just going to be anime games and banned Doom mods like Grezzo 2. There will be some other stuff in the future I have in mind for there. So it will be a case of occasionally sort of going over to Dope Lives for a little bit to do a project and balancing it out with doing stuff on this channel. But you need not fear, I'm not going to start trying to juggle it long term where I'm just streaming on both sites and doing long projects on everywhere. That would be you, of course, Drauken. But there will be a couple of maybe shorter projects I'll have in mind, or a few things every now and then that I'll do there. I don't know how many of you actually have gone over to Dope Lives to check out some of my streams there, or the site in general, in the last month or so. I know Bemused has, and you like the place. But that's a thing that's going to be happening over the next few years. I will be doing the odd project on there. But you haven't been there since the Ladder Goat days. Oh, you remember the Ladder Goat days? Awesome. Those were the best days of the site. The Ladder Goat brought a lot of people there. It was a huge explosion of popularity, and those are some good years. It's not really like that nowadays, but it's still a good community. I still like it. The unrestricted ability to shitpost memes is a good thing. There's that too, I suppose, although can't go too crazy. I've dropped in a one of your Dope Lives stream, but since I usually watch on mobile when I'm watching, I generally don't watch on Dope Lives. Well, yeah, you can watch on VLC if you ask for a code for it, and you can also watch on VACA. It's explicitly stated in the rule set. Yeah, it's a lot more of an open place, really. It's great. Fair enough. I mean, there is also a Twitch stream, but we don't really view the Twitch chat when we stream on the multi-stream thing. You could if you wanted to, Kraja. So yeah, I will be doing that over the next couple of years where I'll do the odd project. But basically I'll still be mainly streaming here because I got a lot more to do here, really. So, don't start fearing that I'm going to be sort of in a position where I'm going to alternate and be divided between two channels. I don't want to do that, but every now and then I'll be doing some Dope With streaming, but I'm still mainly here. That's all you need to really know. And certainly once I finish Danganronpa, it will be a little while before I do another Dope With project. Yes, your fat video. Yeah, not with Danganronpa, not your jam. Fair enough. I mean, there will be some other games on there. I am going to be maybe doing an FPS or two on there that I won't do on here. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I have my plans for the kind of game I want to play over there in the next few years. But I still have so much more to do here, so yeah. And I guess the only other thing really that I was perhaps curious to have a look at, which I found recently, is an old forum post of mine. I want to do this for a bit of intriguing sort of looking back, if you don't mind, but also to illustrate where I was. So, as part of, I think it was last week I was shown this. There used to be a forum on Dope Libs, an old... No, Drauken, it's not that at all. I have never dropped that, ever. So, there used to be a forums for Dope Libs. They're not around. They've not been active for several years. They don't bother with them anymore. But there used to be forums where they would post. I mean, they hadn't been active for years anyway. But a few people still used it. And to sort of explain. No, sorry, insane gazebo. That's not what we're looking for here. I need to find a specific picture, which should be on here. So let me see if I can find it for you. Should have it. Yes, here we go. So let me see if I can find it here. Might be a bit of a hard wall to read. I will try to sort of... Hopefully you can sort of see that, I hope. It's a bit hard. It's a bit of a hard image to sort of see. Since it's a very long sort of... I hope it's kind of visible. I'm trying to make it as visible as I can. Yeah, there we go. That should do it, I think. So I need to bring it up myself so I can actually see it. Should be there. Yeah, sorry if I can't really make it too much clearer. It is a capture of a forum post. But basically, the following three pictures are actually it's a bit of a nostalgic curiosity to this. So this is my leaving post for Dope Lives back in 2016. Because I actually well, you would have known at the time if you were around, but I basically quit the community as a live streamer after one last project. And this is what I did just before I did that. And that was my reasoning at the time. And that's when I started becoming full-time on here. And I haven't really changed since, to be honest. But I actually... I know you can't see my face right now. It's blocked by the forum thing. But basically, what was I going to say? I'd actually thought the Dope Lives forums were lost, but someone had a link of it. Nadal provided a link to them, and I immediately found this on the front page, and I preserved it. Shut up, Drauken. So I decided to look this over, and I read over the farewell thread, and I was kind of interested. I hadn't actually saved this before. I didn't bother to actually take images of the farewell thread back then, because I didn't think the forums would disappear. But got it now for posterity's sake. And I kind of looked over the this stuff, and I found it kind of interesting what I actually wrote down at the time. And what there you can see the Doom Cacodemon head. You know, this was a big deal for me. I got very upset about having to do this. I actually cried at the beginning and at the end of this, at the project, because I was that upset. I was leaving a community I'd been there for 7 years. It was a big deal for me at the time, but I felt I had to do it. In hindsight, I shouldn't have done, really. I should have just taken a break, but, well, at the time I really thought that was the end of the road. I know you laughed, you horrible person, you. But yeah, I just found it kind of interesting to look over some of the reasons I gave back then. That's the part I'm kind of intrigued in, if you will. And I guess maybe for some of you who were around at the time, maybe if you watch this and you used to be on Dope Whips or whatever, you might get a bit of nostalgia from this as well, if you happen to catch this. What's this Twitter thing? Okay, Twitter, please show it. Come on. Had the most... Oh, okay, it's April Fool's. Nice. So I'll sort of skim over. I don't know if you want me to read the whole thing or not. Do you want to read the whole thing? Maybe I could. I'll try and read over the key parts. So I've put here in the third line, this has been a genuinely difficult decision to make, and it has taken me the best part of about 1.5 years to come to it. In an ideal world, I would have liked to remain on both channels, Dope Whips and my own, while also having a full-time job and a full social life. Alas, I don't live in an ideal world, and I've been struggling to maintain a proper balance of things. In 2016, I'm beginning to sort out my life in general, and this painful step is part of that process for me personally. Part of the reason I've made this decision was that I felt focusing on 2 different communities / live streaming sites wasn't fair to either one. As a result, while I've been part of 2 communities since 2013, I haven't really engaged with one or the other for a consistent period of time, so I decided I needed to stop live streaming for one of the 2 places. And that's what I thought back then. I thought like I was jumping around all over the place, and because of that, I was sort of being unfair, you know, to both. I wasn't really committed to either one, which is probably true at the time, because I was active on both still. You can imagine imagine me having the level of my sort of normal commitment, but on 2 different places and sort of jumping around between them a bit. I had a lot more free time back then. Ish. So in the second to last paragraph I then put, why Dope Whips over my own channel? I felt that since Dope Whips was a community live streaming website, there are other people to live stream for the audience. I mentioned a couple of names that were up and coming. Unfortunately, both of them stopped streaming a while back. So hence my absence from live streaming there shouldn't be felt too badly. But another reason was simply that on my own channel, I can choose to stream whenever I feel like it. On Dope Whips, when you're free, the stream might be taken up by somebody else. I'm not complaining about that, of course, as I enjoyed watching other streamers, but in a choose just one option between being able to stream whenever you wanted and having to see if the channel is free before being able to stream, I bet most of you would pick the former option. And that's still the truth. That's still the main advantage of this streaming channel. You know, I can stream whenever I want to. Whereas on Dope Whips, it is a nice place, but sometimes if I want to stream, someone else is streaming instead. Well, there's still periods of activity. There's still periods of time when it's alive, Drauken. It's not, but yeah, it's not as busy as it used to be. This is back when it was busier. You know, it was still pretty mostly busy in 2016. Uh, I don't know. I don't want to keep going. I'm just sort of. I'm looking at this from a sort of hindsight perspective, 5 years away. I just find it interesting. I don't know if anyone else finds it interesting or not. Another factor in a decision was time itself. When I've had a full-time job in the past few years alongside live streaming for 2 different places, as well as doing other social/family things, it's been a bit stressful at times to try and manage it all. Hence part of the reason why I stopped doing the Horror-P highlights late into 2015. I couldn't handle the time hassle of having to edit and process them alongside the other stuff I do. In the past, time constraints haven't been as bad. I've either lacked a full-time job or I've not had 2 places to live stream for. Ultimately, I want to end up with just 1 place to live stream for, 1 Let's Play maximum for my YouTube channel at a time, a full-time job, and a massively improved social life. Well, I don't do Let's Plays anymore. I have 1 place to live stream for, but I do 2. A full-time job I do have, for now. Massively improved social life. Coronavirus has made sure that hasn't happened. So that's the first one. There is another. I'll continue into the second one. But now I have since then found some friends with the poker scene and done stuff, you know. Stuff I want to get back to. So I've made some improvements, obviously. So then on to the second one here. I'm skipping the first paragraph. That's basically me just saying, like, no one pushed me to leave. You know, I still like the Dotwoods community. And then it says here, I'm also quitting MMO. But Drauken, I have quit MMOs permanently. Okay, granted it was several years later. That didn't really stick too well, but I have actually done it now. I don't really bother with them anymore. Shut up! It's not my fault several other enticing MMOs came out. It took me a few more years to get that part, okay? I didn't say my mindset was perfect 5 years ago. This is just how it was. You got into fucking RuneScape. Yes, I did. But I streamed it on this channel. At least. And that's because I was depressed. Remember? The breakdown of my life in 2019? I was depressed, man. Hey, Goofy. You're getting ready to unleash yourself on society. Losing weight, walking. Thanks, hydrate, Podmas, I guess. Well, it wasn't that, Roger. It was more like I had a lot of free time because I'd just been made unemployed. I was depressed. I wanted something to escape into. I thought, fuck it, I've always wanted to try RuneScape out and try and get to the end of the free-to-play content and then try a membership. So I did. And it worked for a couple of months and then I got fed up with it. Because that's what always happens with any MMORPG I ever play. You know, I enjoy it for a little bit of time, then I get fed up in it and quit. Same with WoW Classics, same with Terra, WildStar, a lot of them really. Ultimately, without that societal element, I get fed up of them. Always have done. That's why I've stopped playing them really. Because I know I'll just get fed up eventually. And it'll just be a waste of time. So, yeah, if you only just tuned in and you're wondering, did you get my clip for 2K viewers? Which clip was that, Goofy? If you are just tuning in, by the way, I am looking over a 5-year-old forum post on Dope Lives. I am just sort of nostalgically going through it to illustrate in hindsight how my mindset was back then and sort of drawing a parallel to how it is now. Just a curiosity, if anything else. Yeah, I mean, RuneScape's a good game, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed RuneScape while I played it for a bit. I just got bored of it because there's just so much to do and I just you know, didn't. I just got bored. Honest truth. But it was a good game while it lasted. I certainly enjoyed the free-to-play element. Anyway, live stream is my time sink. So, in the second paragraph, it states, additionally, ever since 2013, my passion for all things... Oh, what's this? Sunday? Oh, it's a Francis clip? Alright, let's have a look. Sure.
Just beforehand, I was thinking, Sundo time, Sundo time, Sundo, Sundo, Sundo time, Sundo time, Sundo time. Just before.
Oh God, no. Oh no, Sunday time. Oh, well, thankfully that's 84 viewers, 84 followers away, so it's a while. It's going to be a while. Maybe later this year if I'm lucky. I'm just going to leave that to my imagination. Why Dope Waves and not Vimeo or Pricato? What are you talking about, Flim? Why Dope Waves and not Vimeo? What are you talking about? Like why? Are you talking about? Are you talking about that from the perspective of why as Dope Waves as an alternate streaming site, Flim? Well, the simple answer is I've been part of Dope Waves since 2009. It's an alternative because I've been part of that community since 2009. That is the reason. I'm not at Dope Waves for, well, it is an alternative of sorts, but I am still part of the community there. So that is why. And they offer a very good streaming service at the same time. But it's the community aspect is why I'm still hanging around. It's why I downloaded Apex Legends and may eventually try to play it. Yeah, nobody pushed me over the edge. That's true, Drauken. Nobody did, really. Even back then, you know, a lot of people were very supportive and nice, and it was a good community. It still is. But a lot smaller than it used to be. But I accept that's the way it is. I mean, if you want evidence of me going on, if you want evidence of me being around Dope Waves in 2009, Flim, just go on my YouTube channel and look at the Dope Waves archive. I have uploaded at least one video of an early stream from 2009, and I have another one in the works. You know, I've been there for a long time. I was on Dope Waves for 4 years before I started streaming here. The reason I started streaming on here at all in the first place was because Doom mods at the time when I tried to stream them back in 2012 weren't well received in the Dope Waves community, and honestly, Doom mods probably still won't be received well in the Dope Waves community because they're not as interested in them as you are with the Doom community. So I started streaming here in 2013 as a side project, which turned out to be a lot more than that now. So, yeah, I sort of state that my passion since 2013 has been for Doom stuff. Since then, I've become part of the Doom world / Doom community. And yes, a few of them have complained about my rage as well. Some things don't change. And I've helped out Doom mappers with playtesting sessions and just generally helping in small part to raise awareness of Doom mods. I'm also interested in perhaps one day becoming a Doom mapper. And 4 years later, but 4 and a bit, okay fine, 5 years later I'd achieve that. I'm continuing to encourage / help out newbie Doom mappers to join the party. In truth, I've probably put a bit more effort into this than promoting Dope Waves in the last year or so. So I chose to go where my new live streaming passion seems to lie, Doom. Well, I've been on Dope Waves since 2009, Drauken. It would have been autumn 2009, and that's when you first met me. So that's how long you've known me. So yeah, as you can see, I had a passion for Doom. It hasn't changed. I still have a passion for old school FPS and Doom stuff, you know. Dope Waves is not the only thing I'm casting aside to balance my focus and do less things. I'm also quitting MMOs permanently. Which, well, another 4 years off from that, really. I'll stick to stuff like Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm. I got fed up with both of those games. Ugh. I can't do MOBAs anymore, really, either. And Hearthstone, I got fed up with the pay-to-win bullshit. Well, I can commit much less time to them and play them in short bursts. I didn't play Hearthstone in short bursts when I really was into it. And this was back when Blizzard was still good. And then I'm cutting down on my YouTube channel stuff, which I have now completely cut off. And although I will now only be live streaming for one place, I will be striving to do a bit less live streaming on there as I focus on my social life and other things. Anyway, once joking. And then this gets on to a sort of more interesting personal stuff. This might be the key point I kind of want to read out, this last paragraph here. Which brings me on to a more personal point. My social life in need of improvement is another reason I've made this tough decision. As you know, I'm autistic and somewhat socially awkward. And ever since 2009, I flung myself into live streaming as my social outlet as such, disregarding a lot of other things in the process. But now as a man of 30, I feel the time is now to begin focusing on other things outside of live streaming and video games. I want to move out and get my own place, but I don't know how to cook and do a few other things. I want to be more socially active, but I've spent most of my free time on a computer playing video games. There are things for me to learn and other stuff to pursue, and this is the big thing for me coming into 2016. I'm not going to stop loving live streaming or loving video games, as I enjoy the entertainment I can bring to other people by doing so, but I'm certainly going to try and spend a bit less time with them so I can discover other enjoyable activities as well that I want to do. Video games / live streaming alone hasn't made me consistently happy, but a nice balance of them and a healthier social life outside of just live streaming will, no matter how long it takes to get close to that balance. And that is why, right now, I'm a little fed up of not having other options in social regards. And really, that hasn't changed much for 5 years. Except the fact I have started to learn how to cook a bit more regularly. I do have other things that I do outside of streaming now. No, go to him. Hi, this is the old Fred from 5 years ago, in 2016. I thanks to Nado, I recently discovered the forums were still active. I'm looking back through my old farewell Fred and drawing, see how I've done 5 years later, kind of thing. I just find it interesting personally, and maybe it will be interesting for some of you too. So that is the honest truth about it, you know. All those times in the past where I flung hours upon hours into dope whips, it was my escapism from a shitty life, you know. I was still under the thumb of my narcissistic father, you know. I saw live streaming as the only thing I cared about, you know. I barely had a job. I didn't really do too much. You know, the truth was, those were some great years in the prime days of Dope Lives. I look back on all the effort I put in with a lot of fondness, but let's not beat around the bush. It was purely a lot of escapism and free time, and I really wasn't healthy in the long run. And so it proved when I started, you know, when the rise fell off. You know. That is the truth. I mean, I've said in the past, you know, in the prime days of Dope Wiz, I would stream 3 different projects. I'd finish them all eventually, and I'd probably stream like 12 hours a day. You know, do a stream in the morning, have a break, do a stream in the afternoon, have a break, do a stream in the evening, have a break, and I could do that day after day after day after day after day after day, without stopping once, and I didn't. I took very few breaks. I was a machine. I was a streaming machine, like a robot. I fucking, you know, you may think I've been quite active on here, but in my prime, I was streaming a fucking lot, bottom line. But it wasn't healthy. Because that's all I look forward to, you know. I thought that getting on by with a job that I only did 8 hours a week was fine because I had this streaming thing. I could, and keep in mind the timing was I discovered live streaming, and then maybe a month or two into it, your streaming site becomes the biggest thing on the fucking internet for 2009 and possibly a year after, you know. That is literally what happened. I discovered this fantastic new hobby, and then a month or so later, you become the biggest shit on the internet for a year. You know, and you get a lot of viewers, a lot of hype, and a lot of excitement. No wonder I kept doing it. Anyone would. Imagine if this place exploded and suddenly gained 200 viewers. Plus, every day, overnight. You know, it would be insane. And this was back in 2009 when live streaming was just starting out, and 200 plus viewers was probably the equivalent nowadays of getting like 50,000 on a stream, because they didn't have the technology for 50,000 viewers back then. It was 2009 year internet, goddammit. You were looking to get 50. But, you know, it wasn't good for the social life thing. It wasn't good for my mental health, because that's all I focused on. I consumed it. I was just a live streamer. This is all I did. I just played game after game after game after game. That's all I ever did. And, you know, a small part of me did enjoy that. I did enjoy doing all this cool stuff. I'm just annoyed I didn't record any of it and save it for the future, except for a few clips, you know. But I think you get what I'm getting at with that, you know. It wasn't really that healthy either. It was good times, but from a personal perspective, it was literally just unhealthy dose of escapism. And now I have a lot more balanced, you know. I stream for a couple of hours, 6 days a week, and I don't get angry at things anymore. I don't have that pressure on me anymore. I'm a bit more relaxed. My life balance is a lot better. You know, I got rid of my father, who didn't care what I did, as long as I went to the pub with him every other night and got drunk with him. You know, my life's a lot better than it was back then, let's put it that way. It's only a shame I was only able to really start improving my life in the last few years. Imagine if it had happened like 2009. I could have been an even better live streamer, to be honest, but yeah. So I have improved a lot as a person and as a streamer. Definitely. And then there's one more picture, a bit of a smaller one. I'll put it down here so you can see my face for this one. And this is the final bit of the thread. And there's my reasons. DopeWiz has been a great live stream community to me from 2009 to 2016. I've enjoyed every moment of being a live streamer for you guys and girls. And then let's go for a list of things I've done, you know. Wonderful memories. It's been a genuine pleasure to entertain you all across the years and see DopeWiz evolve and change from the early Mogulus days to the modern VACA technology. Please keep VACA running. I might even donate myself once I get a job again. I'm ashamed to say I've never actually donated to the VACA thing yet. Still haven't. Although I don't even know if they need to these days. I'll have to check that, because the person who did that thing isn't as active as he used to be. But he does appear in my chat occasionally, so I know he's still around, aren't you, X-Phone? But most of all, thank you to DopeWiz for providing me companionship since 2009. It's been appreciated, and I'll still be here. DopeWiz has been a significant and positive part of my life, and still will be for a while yet. I'll happily answer any questions if you post them below. There was a bunch of responses. There's no doubt some things I've not mentioned, but I genuinely miss live streaming for DopeWiz 07. And that was it. And then I did the project and left. And honestly, although I never left the community, I kind of really did. I didn't chat there regularly for a good while until I returned the next year. It wasn't the same, and it hasn't been ever since. So that's that. In truth, I still view live streaming as good companionship. I don't know how many of you would agree with that. If you're still here watching and haven't fallen asleep or disappeared. I just find it interesting to sort of go through what I used to think back then, see how it's improved or changed in 5 years later. I think I have improved quite a bit since my thought process back then. My live streaming habits have got a bit better. You know, I feel that I have been through a few extra trials. I feel that I've improved as a person. My life has definitely improved since then, you know. And the truth is that I still really love live streaming. That hasn't changed. You know, ever since 2009 when I discovered it as a completely by chance thing while trying to look up Darkfall online beta footage, accidentally discovering live streaming was one of the best things I've ever done. And I still love it to this day, you know. If you were to cut live streaming out of my life tomorrow, I would be a poorer person for it. I would genuinely miss being able to hop onto a stream with a camera or just a mic and play a game and talk to a few people about some nerdy shit or about the game I'm playing, you know. This is why I struggle to go back to playing games by myself anymore. It's So set that picture down now. You've seen the stuff. I won't show the replies. I don't think you'd really care to see them. You know, the replies are cool. I have saved them though. I think a channel that isn't too big and there's a good atmosphere makes for great companionship. I'd agree, and I think honestly I've achieved that. Right now, at this moment in time, I could not gain a single extra follower and I'd be quite happy with this. I mean, don't get me wrong, I always want to see this place grow a little bit steadily, but I certainly agree I wouldn't want this to get too big to the point where it becomes an absolute ball ache to show up, you know, the chat's too busy, that kind of thing. I mean, peak Dopewith's stream chat was actually quite fast-paced at times, but it was still manageable. It was still reasonable. It was still... You could keep up with the conversation, you know, on the IRC chat to boot, not this fancy Twitch chat or a Discord. You know, good old IRC stuff, you know. I think I'd agree. I think a smaller channel is better if you're by yourself, or just in general, you know, there's more companionship. You get to know people. You're not just names you're not just names of pay piggies in a list, if you will, you know. And I do want to see this channel grow very slowly, more followers, more viewers, more whatever, slowly. But I want it to be. If it gets over that number, it's too many, and then we can't have it, and I need to go to my Commander root tool and delete viewers again. Nah, I mean, I want a very steady growth, is the bottom line. I don't want to stagnate entirely, but I don't want to become the next big thing either. I just want it to be gradual, you know. And that's what it's been for years. It's been a gradual, slow process of slowly gaining a little thing here and there, so that it's still got that, probably that nice, small stream, comfy feel to it, you know. And part of that is because I don't flood everything with, like, pointless text scrolls at the bottom saying play all my stuff and subscribe to my YouTube. I like to keep things simple and minimal because that's how I used to stream, and I still like doing that. You know, I still like to keep things as simple as I can. You know, people come here to watch someone play a game. They come to watch a game. Squats for subs. That's the best way to grow. Nah, I would prefer to grow by being a very honest, organic channel that basically streams video games, enjoys them, and hopes that enough people discover it over a period of time. And I believe that's what's happened. You know? And along the way, I can help people with playtesting stuff. I can help people with constructive advice. I can help people by being an entertaining streamer that gets them through difficult times. Like with what, Demi Luna went through with those pictures a few months ago. Or a few others that have said you've been entertaining. That's the whole goal. People come here to watch video games and being offered a monologue. I want your money back. Yeah, but the thing is, Dodo, this is a sweet state. I specifically tell you that I'm going to be monologuing. It's not like I'm ripping you off. You want a video game? Play your own. This is the sweet state. This is where I get to rant in front of the webcam for 2 hours. And once again, I said this was going to be a short sweet state, and it's going on for nearly 2 hours. Gotta stop jinxing myself like that. I'm going to jinx myself with this Iron Man too. World Orifice is going to turn out to be fascinating. It's going to be one of the most busiest Iron Mans ever. And so they're like, eat all the shit, John. You were wrong. There was no concern. You're just angry because you can't get an easy win on Mutt this month. I certainly appreciate there aren't many channels who take the time to talk to an audience like this. Yeah, there isn't. I genuinely think there isn't. It's not an easy thing to do. I'm not going to remember every name and everything, but I try to provide that comfy feel. I paid nothing and I want my money back. But, I'm trying to provide that sort of old school live streaming experience. And I think I succeed in doing that. I obviously have to have a healthy balance where I don't just focus on just the live streaming. I now have that perspective of knowing that I can't just... And that's also why I don't want to become a full-time streamer. And I don't want to spend 12 hours a day doing this again. Because I'd end up because it wouldn't be good for me. I like doing this where it's like a nice reward at the end of a tough day of work, of coming home and being able to unwind and play a game for a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen people. I enjoy that. That's going to be... That's something I want to do as long as I can until I'm no longer able to have the cognitive capacity to actually turn a stream on and play video games, by which time I'll be in an old people's home and there'll be some boring pictures behind me, and I'll still probably try and get a webcam on and an IRC chat and a Doom one and say, well, howdy kids, today we're gonna revisit Sunder. Oh god, I hope that the social worker doesn't take my PC away again. Anyway, here's level 1. Fucking gazebo, I can't believe that he didn't finish Sunder again. Only 29 maps he got to. Crazy times, am I right? Yeah, but in all seriousness, I will be live streaming until I am no longer able to do so. And the day that happens will be a very sad day in my life when I'm no longer able to do it anymore. Welcome to Fear 37 of our 2-week lockdown. Yeah, that's the thing I'd be most scared of. Shut up, Drauken. I won't be like that for ages. Back in my days, we didn't have shit like vertical aiming. Yeah, vertical aiming, mouses. Man, we have auto aim. We don't need that shit. I've probably got about another 20, 30 years of full cognitive capacity before I have to start being a bit more concerned about that. I'm what you'd perhaps call a late starter to the adult party, but I will be catching up as fast as I can. I hope. I'm going to have to. I gotta be sorted by the end of this decade, to be honest. But things are heading in the right direction. Don't make me get up by Mallorca. Yeah. So, well, that's true. We did. Shut up, joking. Yeah, I know. We did peak. As a live streamer, I definitely will have already peaked back in those days. If you ask me, I mean, I'll definitely not be able to do my peak dope with stuff again. The fact I managed to do a 24-hour marathon once is still ridiculous to me. The fact I was able to stream 3 times a day for most days of the week still seems like I don't know how the hell I'd do that. I mean, I very briefly did 2 streams a day a year or so ago with the Painkiller series, and that was a bit of a slog in itself. I felt a bit weird doing that. So, it's about the quality, not the quantity. I've still got plenty of good years to do what I need to do. And as long as you're all having fun watching me do what I do, and as long as I provide some positive benefit, then that's all that matters, I really still view live streaming as companionship. I still do. That hasn't changed, and it never will. So, that was a little nostalgic thing. I don't know if that was interesting to anyone, but it was a thing for me, And I still love dope whips, and although I did say it wasn't healthy, there were some positives. It wasn't all bad. It was escapism from something grim at the time, and I did have a lot of fun memories, which I'll never forget, And it's one of my sort of ambitious hopes, my ambitious dreams of sorts, that one day this channel gets to the stage where it's almost as big as as Dope Whiz was in its prime. It'd be interesting if I woke up one day and there were like 180, 200 viewers watching my stuff. But that's just a really ambitious, weird dream that may never happen. And if it doesn't, it doesn't matter. I'm here to have fun, and I'm having plenty of that. But nothing wrong with having an ambitious dream, of course. No one comes here for expecting quality. Well, that's true, Drauken. They put, if they wanted to watch someone good playing Doom, they have other options, or any other game. It's about something not related to the quality of gameplay, if you will. It could just be simply the fact that it could be someone playing a game that they know very well and seeing it played for the first time, There's a thrill to that. A game you know very well, and you're watching someone experience it for the first time and seeing what their reactions are. I feel a bit that way sometimes when I watch someone play Doom for the first time, and it's like, it's very cool to see how they handle this scenario that I know at the back of my hand. It's good stuff. Fun stuff, Yeah. Alright, well, that's all I've got to... I will see people playing Doom for the first... Yeah, it's always fun to see how many get that limbo... Not limbo, the Phobos... Oh, God, is it... That switch, that hidden switch in E2M6, is it? No, E2M6, it's all damned. Phobos Lab, that's it. So, at this point, it's on to audience questions. So at this point, if there's any questions you have for me, now is the time to ask them if you want. So any questions you want to ask about anything at all, now is the time to ask them. So go right ahead. Am I being detained? Am I being detained? You're not a sovereign citizen, Drauken, so no, you're not. What's next on the menu? Do you mean the live streaming menu, Tourniquet, or an actual food menu? I don't know why cacos have 2 buttholes. You'd have to ask the person who came up with the design for them. So, Maybe Adrian Carmack. Oh, what games? Oh, right, okay. Well, I'm still playing through Suitepee, obviously. That is the current game I'll be playing for a little while until it's finished. I don't know how far I am in it, but I think I'm about 2/3 of the way through the game at a rough guess. So I hit your nose. So it will be Suitepee. After that is finished, I will then be playing Redundancy, which is the final Doom WOD on the request list that has more than one person who asked for it. And then after Redundancy, I will need to pick another other game to play. I haven't decided which of the other games left I will be playing next at this point. I will probably have made a decision on that when I get near to the end of Suitepee. I'm just going to leave this here so it's not in the Discord. Check it out after the stream. Oh, okay. It's an interesting video card. So I'd have to pick one of my other games because that's the big thing I want to get done this year. So I'm thinking it might be something like one of maybe Kingpin or Sin. Maybe not Zero Escape because I am playing Danganronpa. I don't know if I want to jump into another Spike Chunsoft visual novel venture game straight away afterward. And most of the other stuff is either early access and I'm waiting for finish, super long and I'm saving for another time, or I'm waiting for something to play it. So, well, I might play Robinson's Requiem. I could get it out the way. I'll have to see. Nah, that's a... Well, I'd have to finish Danganronpa V3 first, Dragon, before we can play the one starting with G. One game at a time. I'll have to see. Lord Misfit. I'll have to see how I feel after Suitepee. And then in terms of the Doom stuff, it's going to be... There's a lot of stuff on the list. And I'll have to start going for the list. You know? I'll have to start just going off in a random direction. I got so much choice on the list to play, so it'll just be back to the case of alternating between a Doom WOD, Doom Heretic / Hexen WOD, followed up by another gameplay through, and that's how it's going to be, alternating between those. So that's what's going to be coming up, Tourniquet. You know, Suitepee, Redundancy, another game after that, and then some other Doom WOD request, and obviously there's the Iron Man and a playtest stream for April. So, got my hands full. As usual. And obviously I'll be also playing Danganronpa V3 on Dope Wiz, which I also hope to have done by the end of Easter, alongside Suitepee. So that's the plan. Are there any other questions from the 15 viewers who are still around? Feels good to not be in a jumper, honestly. Nice to have a t-shirt type weather. Too bad it's going to revert back later this week. Are you ready for approximately 7 hours tomorrow? Yeah, I guess so. I don't think there's going to be anything to sort of be in the way necessarily. I mean, I do have a task to do tomorrow, but it should be done by then, by about 3, so I'll make sure that I'm all set for your marathon gaming thing you want to do. Warm in California also. Do you have any plans for multiplayer with viewers of some sort? Not at the moment, no. Most of the time when I do multiplayer stuff, it's usually with the Hell Forge. I mean, I know that they're going to be playing the new map of Among Us that came out, the Airship. So Paul will be joining in for their session. That's kind of the one thing I'm not very good at doing and have very rarely done, actually, Durdle. Aside from a co-op playthrough of Orcs Must Die 2 with Pineapple, which is another game I might consider playing after Suitepee as well, if Pineapple is still here, although I think she's probably going to have to do her own stream. But that's another one I might consider playing, because it's short and it's a co-op thing. And then there's Dragon Quest Heroes 2, where small parts of it will involve co-op with Lord Misfit. I haven't actually really got any plans for that. I know that some people, you're not the first person to ask about that, and I really should try to arrange something, but I'm really bad at playing multiplayer stuff these days, honestly. And Serious Cacademon, yeah, okay. It's something I'm going to have to work on. I just need to think of a game that, a thing that people could want to play with me, that I can commit to doing every so often, you know. That's where the whole, it would be nice to have a schedule sort of thing. Oh, no, I'd like to do it with something. I mean, I'm a bit awkward when it comes to that kind of thing sometimes, as some people might know. I'm not the most vocal in group situations. And I have been asked by a few other people to sort of try something like that. It's just, I'd need to find something I'd want to play, and, you know, this didn't used to be a problem back in the day in Dope Whips. We all played the same thing, so we'd just join whenever everyone else was playing, but now it's like there's so many different types of game, and I'm not really in the competitive stuff anymore, and I'm not sure you'd want me to be in the competitive stuff. Well, actually, I tell a lie. I downloaded Apex Legends recently because I want to practice. For one, I want to play with some dope bros, and for another thing, I kind of want to practice getting better at handling losing in those games so I can have fun with people and not care about winning as much as I used to. But there will be some plans in the future. I mean, hell, if I could actually get a schedule up at some point, I would probably do something similar to what Bridgeburner does, is where he has a weekly thing where he plays multiplayer games with an audience. That would be nice to do. But because I can't commit to a regular schedule, I can't really do it at the moment. But rest assured, at some point, if I could think of something, I will definitely have a multiplayer stream with viewers, if I could set it up. But just don't expect it immediately. It will happen. You know, being social is kind of one of my weaknesses, ironically. So yeah. But there will be plans. Definitely plans. Because it's something I need to get better at. Hey, Derek Akora, nice Preston shirt, man. Thank you. Glad someone got the reference. It is indeed the North End Soul. You know, a play on Northern Soul. And, you know, it's sort of the club, so, you know, it's a good talk. So are there any other questions? As we now hit the 2-hour mark, officially. Don't make me rock back and forth awkwardly too much. I'm just sitting in my car and waiting for my girl. I'm just sitting in my car and waiting for my... What's the answer to life, the universe, and everything? The answer is try and be a good person and make sure you have some knowledge to pass on to the next generation so that future generations can benefit. Also, 42. Hugo Martin is the answer to everything. You wish Hugo Martin was your dad. Okay. Thank you for that, Crowder. Yeah, I appreciate your input there. It's good stuff, Crowder. Good stuff. Okay, I guess that's it for the questions tonight. Right, well. Oh, wait. Crowder has a question. Go ahead. I was about to find some way to raid. Does that contain any DMCA music, Crowder? Although I kind of get it's a meme sort of thing, but I'm not so sure it doesn't. Okay, then.
I wish Hugo Martin was my dad. Hugo Martin was my dad. Was my dad. Was my dad. Wish Hugo Martin was my dad. Hugo Martin was my dad. Hugo Martin was my dad. I wish Hugo Martin was my dad. Was my dad. Was my dad. Hugo Martin was my dad. Hugo Martin was my dad. I wish Hugo Martin was my dad.
Oh, God.
Hugo Martin.
What? What is this?
Was my dad. Hugo Martin was my dad. Hugo Martin was my dad. Was my dad. Was my dad. I wish Hugo Martin was my dad. Was my dad. Was my dad. Hugo Martin. Hugo Martin. I wish Hugo Martin was my motherfucking dad.
What is this based off, Crowder? Thanks for the 75 bits, Misfit. Tyler. Someone called Tyler.
Hugo Martin was my dad. Hugo Martin was my dad. Was my dad. Was my dad. Hugo Martin was my dad. Was my dad. Was my dad. Was my dad. Was my dad.
Okay.
I wish he was my dad. Hugo Martin was my dad.
This is a thing.
Was my dad. Was my dad. Was my dad. Hugo Martin was my dad.
The VNN guy.
Was my dad. I wish Hugo Martin was my dad. I wish Hugo Martin was my dad.
Okay. Very interesting. Oh, you have a sweet singing state. Oh, God. Someone's quit. Okay, thanks, Goofy. Well, that was that. Thanks, Crowder. Much appreciated. And stuff. Much appreciated. Boy, I've got to be... Right. Well, that's... I think that's going to be it for this sweet state. So, I won't be streaming tomorrow because that's my traditional... Well, obviously my day off where I will be playing with Drauk and Sage for a bit of an extended session to celebrate the Easter period. I will be back streaming this weekend. I will be continuing Suitepee, hoping to get that done before the end of Easter as well. So you've got Suitepee and Redundancy to look forward to the next rest of Easter. Thank you all for being here, and I hope you've had fun. We will go and raid somebody now, all 15 of us. Who shall we raid tonight? Oh, is Jimmy finalising the competition winner? Probably is. We'll raid Jimmy. I think maybe he's deciding the winner of the contest. So, thank you all for watching. Hey, Rossi, good to see you at the end there. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the weekend. Have a good night, everybody.